Hold up, because a major insider report just dropped about the Dodgers bullpen situation, and we finally have a name emerging as the legitimate top target with actual mutual interest confirmed. This isn't speculation anymore. This is real smoke turning into fire, and I'm about to break down everything you need to know about where this situation stands right now. Before we dive deep into this, smash that subscribe button because free agency is heating up and the dominoes are about to start falling. You need to be locked in here for every update as these moves develop over the next few days and weeks. All right, let's get straight into this bombshell report from Fabian Ardea. The Dodgers general manager Brandon Gomes confirmed at the GM meetings in Las Vegas that signing a reliever is absolutely on the table as they prepare for what could be their biggest roster moves. Among the candidates being discussed, one name keeps surfacing as the clear favorite: Devin Williams, the two-time All-Star closer who spent most of his career dominating with the Brewers before a rough stint with the Yankees last season. This isn't just the Dodgers being interested. Now here's what makes this different from every other rumor we've been hearing. This isn't just a good fit on paper. Christopher Knox reported that there's mutual interest between both parties. That means Devin Williams himself wants to be a Dodger. Unless he gets some absolutely ridiculous offer he can't refuse from somewhere else, the chance to play with the defending champions might be too good to pass up. This is the first bullpen target all offseason where we've had confirmed mutual interest from both sides. Everything else has been speculation about fits or wondering if the Dodgers might call about certain guys. This is actual traction. This is a real negotiation that could happen, and honestly, the more I look at it, the more sense it makes from every possible angle. Let's address the elephant in the room first. Williams had a terrible year with the Yankees. There's no sugarcoating it. After the Brewers traded him to New York, something went completely sideways. His performance fell off a cliff, the Yankees lost trust in him, and by the end of the season he wasn't even getting high-leverage situations. That collapse is why his projected market value according to Spotrac is only $5.7 million for 1 year. That's absurdly low for someone of his caliber and track record. But here's the thing, everyone needs to understand. One bad season doesn't erase nearly a decade of dominance. Before last year's disaster, Williams was one of the most unhittable relievers in baseball. We're talking about a guy who finished 7th in Cy Young voting 1 year as a relief pitcher. When's the last time you saw a closer crack the Cy Young conversation? That alone tells you the level he was operating at. Look at his Baseball Savant page. Even after that terrible Yankees season, his chase rate is 97th percentile, his whiff percentage is 97th percentile, his strikeout rate is 97th percentile. Those numbers don't lie. The raw stuff is still elite. Something about the situation in New York, whether it was mechanical adjustments they tried to force or just bad chemistry with their pitching infrastructure, clearly didn't work. But the talent didn't evaporate overnight. The velocity concerns aren't really there either. Yeah, his fastball doesn't blow people away, but that's never been his game. Williams succeeds because his changeup is legitimately one of the best pitches in baseball. When he's right, hitters look completely foolish against it. They know it's coming and still can't hit it. That's the kind of weapon you build an elite closer around. Here's what gets me excited about the Dodgers connection specifically. Mark Pryor and our pitching development staff have an incredible track record of fixing guys who had down years elsewhere. We've seen it happen over and over. Pitchers come here with mechanical issues or confidence problems. The staff identifies what went wrong, makes adjustments, and suddenly they're back to being dominant. If anyone can figure out what broke with Williams in New York and get him back to his Brewers form, it's our guys. The financial aspect makes this even more of a no-brainer. If Williams is truly available in that $5 to $6 million range because teams are scared off by one bad season, that's an absolute steal. Even if negotiations push it higher, maybe up to $8 or $9 million, you're still getting potential elite closer production at a massive discount compared to what you'd pay for someone like Edwin Diaz or the other top-tier bullpen arms. That financial flexibility matters enormously for roster construction. If we can lock down our closer need for under $10 million instead of paying $15 or $20 million for a big name, that's money we can allocate to other areas. Maybe that's additional starting pitching depth. Maybe that's an outfield upgrade. Maybe that's just keeping powder dry for mid-season trade deadline moves. Point is, getting elite production at a discount always opens up more options. People will point to his age as a concern. He's 31, which isn't exactly young for a reliever, but it's not like he's 35 with a blown-out arm. He's got plenty of tread left on the tires if used properly. The Dodgers are masters at managing workload and keeping pitchers fresh through the season. Williams wouldn't be asked to throw 75 innings and pitch 4 days in a row like some teams abuse their closers. He'd be deployed strategically in a way that maximizes his effectiveness. The pitch mix is another area where I think the Dodgers can unlock even more value. Williams has primarily relied on his changeup and fastball combination throughout his career, and when those pitches are working, he doesn't need anything else. But he's also shown a cutter and slider at various points. If Mark Prior thinks mixing in one of those offerings more frequently could give hitters a different look and keep them off balance even at below 10% usage, that could take Williams to another level entirely. Think about facing a closer where you know the changeup is coming, you've studied it on video, you're sitting on it, and you still can't hit it. Now add in the possibility of a cutter running in on your hands or a slider breaking away. That additional element of uncertainty, even if used sparingly, makes every pitch that much more difficult to handle. And Williams already has those pitches in his arsenal. It's just about incorporating them strategically. Let me make a comparison that I think puts this in perspective. Remember Edwin Diaz after he tore his ACL celebrating at the World Baseball Classic? He came back the following season and was terrible. People wondered if he'd ever be the same. Then boom, he's back to being one of baseball's most dominant closers. One bad year doesn't define a career, especially when external circumstances clearly played a role. Williams going from Milwaukee, where he thrived for years, to suddenly struggling in New York suggests the environment and approach didn't suit him. That's fixable. That's not a physical decline or lost ability. That's finding the right situation where a player can succeed again. The Dodgers provide exactly that kind of environment. A winning culture, elite coaching, smart usage patterns, and teammates who elevate everyone around them. The mutual interest component cannot be overstated. This matters enormously in free agency. When a player actively wants to be part of your organization, when they're choosing you, not just for money, but because they believe in what you're building, those are the signings that work out. Williams sees the Dodgers as a place where he can rebuild his value and win championships. That motivation is worth more than any contract incentive. From Williams' perspective, what better way to prove last year was a fluke than dominating in high-leverage October situations for the defending World Series champs? If he closes out playoff games for the Dodgers and helps us win another title, suddenly everyone forgets about the Yankees' disaster and he sets himself up for a massive payday next offseason. It's the perfect reclamation project setup for both sides. The market value of $5.7 million is laughable for what Williams has shown he can do when right. Even if other teams drive up the bidding, I can't imagine it gets anywhere close to the $15 or $20 million the top-tier closers command. Maybe it reaches $8 or $9 million, maybe 10 at the absolute ceiling. At any of those prices, this is a worthwhile gamble with massive upside and limited downside risk. Compare Williams to the other relievers available in free agency at similar price points. There's literally nobody on that list with his upside and track record. You're not finding another two-time All-Star who finished top 10 in Cy Young voting, available at bargain pricing. The market inefficiency exists because one bad season scared everyone off. Smart teams exploit those inefficiencies, and the Dodgers are the smartest team in baseball.